Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it's already 6 o'clock in the evening. And I think we will start in a short while na lang. Kaya na pa nagsulod. So 3 minutes from now, we will start our discussion for the last minute tips for our admin law midterm exam. So have you studied, class? Nag-study ba mo? O wala, natug lang. Tug. Nag-study, oh, very good. So this will just be a recap lang dayon sa to ang midterm discussions class, ha. Okay. Nakita ninyo akong presentation class kaning atong midterm exams? Okay, very good. By the way, I think nga kuan kanang nagi maka-perfect jud sa inyo ani nga exams kay during the oblikon man gud na exams yesterday, after we discussed the last minute tips, murag putag na sa bar, no? The last minute tips kay nakuha ra pod nila. So most of them who attended the Google Meet at the same time, those who watched the YouTube live stream, nakuha nila. So they were able to get the perfect score. So if you get perfect scores for these midterm exams, you are already exempted to take the final exams. Okay? For those who will not be able to get perfect scores, it's okay. I will just give lang dayon some tasks na lang, no, para dili kay mabugatan, especially since I think there would be some students still who will not be able to get high scores, especially those nga wala nagtuon or probably wala sila kapaminaw due to some personal circumstances. For those who are, I'm not saying na kailangan jud nga mag-Google Meet gid ta per me, or I'm not saying na kailangan jud magtanaw gid sa live stream. What I'm saying is that at least we would try our best to at least understand the subject that we have here. So if it's admin law, kay law related man ni siya, dili ni siya basta-bastahon unta. And also oblikon kaning business law, kay syempre magamit man pud ninyo ni siya later sa inyong paghuman sa inyong kurso. And even for those who are working, magamit man ninyo ni, di ba? So I think we will start na. It's already 6:03 in my time. Yes, good evening, Mr. Magsalay. Yan. Siya si Mr. Magsalay. Asa, could you please write in the chat box 1 if you're from Alubijid, 2A if you are from 2A, I mean 3A if you are from Baungon na section A, and then 3B if you are from Baungon section B. Okay, naa si Miss Rosacina 3A, naa si Miss Habiguero, Miss Bongcales, okay. So mga taga Baungon, Alubijid, si Miss Mangumpit, Mr. Okay, at least na mo, no? You are already well represented kahit paano na duha isa. At least na ay maka-share dayon, ha. Please, for those who are watching this or for those who are joining this Google Meet, I have already opened the Google form as of 5:59. Gi-open na po na. So ayaw sa mo answer, ha. Kaya mo patak na inyong 2 hours. Patakin yung 2 hours. So makuha na siya, ma-minus mo, ma-deductionan mo. Okay, so ang atong himuon karon is we will discuss about the midterm. It's already 6:03, so magkwantahan mo. Paspaso na to ni. For those who will not be able to catch us kating sa first part sa atong discussion, tanawan na lang sa ninyo sa replay unya. Okay, maragutag nagdula. Let's start. So these midterm exams, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Muslim ganda ko, no? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So this is an online self-assessment of the midterm module on the Philippine Administrative Law. This is an online self-assessment. And this consists of 2 activities, Activity 1 and Activity 2. Now for Activity 1, this is the multiple choice questions. 46 kabuk na sila. So you have to complete the multiple choice questions within 1 hour and 45 minutes. For Activity 2, you only have 8 points. 2 questions lang na essay, easy essay questions. So you'll be able to finish this in less than 5 minutes. Kaya na ninyo, no? In less than 5 minutes or buta na to 10 minutes. Total maximum points for this examination is 100 points. There's no more retake, class. Please, no more retakes. You can only submit once. Once you open the Google form, Upatak na inyong oras. And so, make use of your time as in gamitan ninyo na siya sa tarong dili magdili-dali. So if you think that you will be experiencing problems with your internet connection, so yung internet connectivity, ayaw sa mo diretso. Jot down your answers ha, sa papel. I advise that you get a paper before we start. Get a paper, get a piece of paper, then mark 1, 2, 3. Wala na ako ni jumble. For the final exams, akong i-jumble. For the midterms, wala akong gusto nga karon ma-perfect ninyo so that you will no longer take the final exams. Kaya sa my final exams, I will still use the questions here sa midterms and then I will just add 10 more questions. Ako lang na i-jumble, i-change na ako ang mga pangalan, gamay, ganun. So, magkuhan yun ta, maningkamot ta nga maka-perfect ta para din ta mag-finals and then you can focus on your other subjects na dayon. So, do you have your papers now, your pens? Okay, para dili na mo magkuhan. Get a piece of paper. Saan naman siya? Get a piece of paper and then pen kay para dili na mo magkuan ha, dili na mo maglisod. Why is this nga dili ko ka-admit ninyo? Something is wrong with my Gmeet. Okay, wait sa class ha. So, can you see me? Can you still hear me, class? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, na magudiri. I think there's something wrong. How come I cannot view you anymore? Sa akong Gmeet din ako ma-view. Nasa class ha. Mag-out sa ko class ha. Kaya murag something's wrong with my Gmeet. Anyway, kani siya ha. Sa uban nga dili makasulod. Siya kasulod. Out sa ko and then I'll be back. Wait lang. Okay, view all. Admit all. Ayan. Okay, so this is it. Admit sa tab. Yan. I'll share my tab again. Yan siya. Okay. Napabay mo sulod nga line class. So this is our midterm exams. 46 questions. Bismillah, we will start with the MCQ. First question, you already know the answer. Diba? So admin law is that branch of law that treats legal relations. Nag-admit pa ko. Mura kong doktor, ga-admit ko mga pasyente. Okay, so, dinita ha, sa ato ang kwan, sa atong admin law nga kwan. Punta, pag sutig 6, before 6, nakasulod na ang tanan para dire-diretso na. Anyway, sige. Admin law is that branch of law that 1, 2, 3, 4. So, when you see this, murag kang nag-take og civil service exams, no? Tanaw ni mo diri asang applicable si 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, you have to read the choices. So, treats the legal relations between blah blah those that permit the doing of an act. Of course, we already have this during our prelim exams. So the answer to this question is of course this, di ba? Dili na nato na lalisang. Number 2. Colleen, just please remind me ha kung dili ko madunggan as well as those who would be listening to us via YouTube, pwede mo mag-chat sa ako. Kay currently gikuan man ako ni gi-air na ko ni siya live so that you can review before you answer. Get a piece of paper again for those who have just joined our Google Meet. Please get a piece of paper and then pen, mark it 1 to 46 and then activity 2, 1, 2 so that you will write your answer dayon. Then again sa activity 2, your answers must be in sentence form. No misspellings. Di ko ganan og mga misspellings. Ang requisite na imong dikihisip or unsa ba na siya nga mga kuan dito, ang mga spelling wala diri, then all caps, no all caps. Capital letter is only for the first letter sa first sentence nimo and then end with the period. Follow that format kay dili na nako natagan og credit. Ug magsulti kag 1 2 3 diretso dili pwede, ha? So okay, let's again proceed to number 2. Colleen was asked during oral examination about admin law. She was asked which of the following is or are the correct definition of admin law. So, gipangutan na si Colleen, unsa daw ang correct daw nga definition sa admin law. So, we have here 4 choices. Pag makita ka ni, it is about admin law, di ba? So, at least you will have a working knowledge as regards the definition of admin law. So you look at the choices. A, admin law, branch of consti law that deal with rules relating to powers, procedures of government agencies, which is legislative. So you have this question, legislative ba na siya, ma'am? Question mark. Letter B, admin law is the branch of public law dealing with the doctrines and principles governing the powers and procedures of admin agencies, including especially judicial review of admin actions. So, makaunaw na ka murag. Then you proceed to C, D. So, si D, nagyo answer ani. So, dili pwede nga none of the above. Nagyo. So, it's just between A o B. Now, for this particular instance, no, kani siya nga question. For this particular question, imong tanawon din asa man tong dol-dol. If you say it's branch of constilo, yes. Kuan na siya kanang dili man gud siya mosulti nga branch na siya sa constilo gyud class, no. If you look back, if you read again our module, nakalagay doon public law siya. Public modern law. So diri ka makadto sa asa man. Naka kung asa tong nakasulat si public mo to answer. Okay? So let's proceed to number 3. Which of the following is the correct definition of procedural due process? So, unsa man tong procedural due process? Since kaning procedural due process ani class, this is not the ordinary due process nga itong nebuan ha. We are studying admin law. So, procedural due process admin law. 7 man to ka book. So, tanawon din mo dire A, B, C, D. So, napag yung nagsamok-samok nga si D nga A and C are correct ko no. So, let's see. Letter A, it refers to a right of a person to a hearing in a court of law. Na ba day, kailangan ba day mag-hearing sa court of law? Admin man eh. Letter B, it refers to that most important requirement of admin proceedings wherein the court has to consider the witnesses. Nga napod si court na pod, ma'am. Letter C, it is the minimum requirement in admin proceedings. Oh, nasya gisot ito. Minimum requirement of admin proceedings. So, wherein the evidence presented must be substantial. So, muktanaw ka, kanis A, B, nag-court sila. Siyempre, delay na, di ba? So, asang answer, kabalo na mo. Number 4, the term agency would include the following. Ngayon, nagsamok-samok si others, no? Others. So, you go to the choices. Term agency, again, basahon ni mo ang imong module, naka dito. Ang meaning, nara dito. So, A, government corporations with respect to function regulating private right, privilege, or occupation or business. Officials in the exercise of disciplinary powers as provided by law. Yung ni B. And then we have C, any department, bureau, office, commission, officer of the national government that is given the authority to make rules, issue licenses. Mukha nakauwi mo tanan manida. So, imong answer, unsa man? Asa man dire imong answer? So, kaya nakasulti tanan man na. Number 5. In admin proceedings, the board or body, so kaning board or body sa admin niya, consider all the pieces of evidence presented by the parties. Evidence to be presented must pass. Dili ni must pass. The test on proof beyond reasonable doubt. Pag musulti kag proof beyond reasonable doubt, para man na sa criminal law. Diba? So, wala na. Mga criminal cases yan. So, tanggal. So, when you encounter mga multiple choices class, sa first tingin mo pa lang, dili lang ni siya sa inyong pa-eskwela, first tingin mo, kung mag-take kag civil service, mag-exclude ka na, tangtanga itong mga gasaway-saway para mapilian lang nimo ang katong nararapat, katong duol-duol. So, at least makapili kag duha. So, letter B, tangtang na si A. Letter B, likewise, consider the criminal. Na po, si criminal aspect na po. So, tangtangon na po ni mo siya. O, dali kayo. Si letter C. Render its decision in such a manner that the parties of the proceeding can know the various issues involved and the reason for the decision rendered. Okay niya. And then letter D. Collate and gather evidence based on their independent investigation or research to strengthen the promulgation of its decision. So, dira ka magdagan kang C o kang D. So, pagtanawin mo dito kang C o kang D, imong tanawon diri B, unsa may mas duol-duol nga atong naibuan dito sa admin proceedings nga katong pito ka book, cardinal primary rights, no? Sa kuan sa admin proceedings. So, diri ta kang Asa man tapadulong? Asa tapadulong? So, dirita. Number 6. The case of Antibay versus CIR, Court of Industrial Relations is A. Landmark case related to the study of admin law wherein the decision of the court was focused on determining daw kuno the relationship that existed between employees and employers. Pag mutanaw ka ni, ma'am, admin law man ta. Nga ni abot naman tag labor law. O di tanggal. Tanggal. Letter B. The landmark case related to the study of admin law that laid down the maximum. Nag-lay down ba siya maximum? Tanggal. Letter C. The landmark case that discusses the kind of procedure to take by any government agency in deciding cases where public personalities are involved. Murag makahuna-una ka, murag lagi ni ha. Then you go to D. Landmark case that discusses the minimum requirement in admin proceedings. So, saan mo itong gisutin na to? Was it minimum or maximum? Nadirang answer. Next. Okay? So, inyong i-jot down class ha, letter lang kay para pag-answer nyo niya, tanawin ninyo asa itong letter. In the case of Antibay na po, sikat man siya sa admin proceedings, the court ruled that A. The judge must act individually considering the facts of the controversy, but if necessary, accept also the views. Accept daw ko, no? Accept all the views of a subordinate. Unsa tong gisulti ani nga accept the views of the subordinate. Diba tong gisulti kay dili lang basta i-accept nga ano man gisulti dili but if necessary buang-buang man ni si A. So tanggal. Letter B. The tribunal hearing the case must act independently, weighing the law and facts of the case and not simply accept the views of a subordinate. So, murag na kag, murag mauning tama. Letter C. The tribunal hearing the case must weigh both pieces of evidence presented by the complainant and the respondent so long as the same are of the same probative value. So, taka dito, murag man ta makakuha na ni ma'am probative value, substantial evidence man kini, di ba? So, moadto na po dayon ka sa letter D kay dili man kay nato ka sure. Dili kay ka sure. So, moadto ka kay letter D. So, si letter D, the judge or tribunal hearing the case must disclose the evidence presented to both parties involved in the controversy and inform the same that those evidence shall be forwarded to the High Court on appeal. Nay nagsamok-samok. So, tanggalin mo yan. So, tanggal si B, tanggal si A, tanggal si C. So, ang nabilin, number 8. Which of the following is the best answer? The admin agency actually is deemed as the fourth branch. Best answer gani, na kay choices, na murag duol, pero unsa magyud ang pinaka maayong answer. So, A. The admin agency actually is deemed as the fourth branch daw kuno. Diba na, so tita, dili siya fourth branch. So, tanggal siya. Admin agency is not only apparent in the executive branch, but may likewise be found in the two legislative branches of the government. So, magkasulti kag murag pud ma'am, nakadiscuss ta ni. Then letter C, the admin agency does not strictly belong to one branch. So, si D kay ang constitutes the fourth branch, pare-pareha sa sila ni A. So, either B or C ka. Diba? So, masulti ka diri not only apparent, pero murag dili man kay kuan aning choice. Good. Si B. So, kung dili ka ganahan kang B, ang answer is number 9. Which of the following is not a factor which gave rise to the creation of admin agencies? So, we have here the choices, not a factor daw kuno, which gave rise to the creation of admin agencies. A. Growing complexity of modern life, meaning as society gets more complicated, more things needs regulation daw kuno. Letter B. Multiplication of the subject of governmental regulation. Manaka, i-memorize man ako ni ma'am, Pag mag-memorize gani ka, magkuan ka, marag kag normal class. So, maghimo kag imuhang acronym, maghimo kag marag drawing. So, kani siya, A, B, C, D, asa diri ang gasanga-sanga. So, ang gasanga-sanga ani nga way labot, kini, di ba? Criminality, no? So, diri, kani si A, B, C, mo man yung rason. Yung gisulti kay not a factor man daw. So, asa man dira. Gisulti ko na. Number 10. Which of the following statements is wrong? A. More admin agencies are now created due to the expansion of government regulation and the multiplication of government functions. B. There are admin bodies which are now clothed with quasi-judicial and quasi-legislative functions. So, magana kang, mayo lagi ni. Letter C. There are admin agencies that make determinations of facts in the performance of their official duties and to apply the law as they interpret it to the facts of the case. Maglawom-lawom lagi to siya, ma'am. So, you go to letter C. Okay? Muna siya no letter D rin. Admin law has evolved through the years but it was already recognized kuno. So mga nakadiri, murag tama manitanan, murag kanira man nagasanga-sanga. Then you go back to the question, wrong. So, ang wrong, 11. Number 11 na ta class. So 11, true or false. In determining whether delegated power is valid or not, the sufficiency test may solely be complied with daw kuno. Solely be complied with lang daw. So itong isulti, true man na siya, dili man na siya true kay false man na, kailangan man aside from sufficiency standard test, kailangan nimo ang completeness test. So completeness test o sufficiency standard test. So tanggalon si true, ang nabilin si B ug C. So asa man diri ang tama? You look at B. Ang reason, sufficiency test is not enough in determining undue delegation since you have to check if the guidelines are correct. Tanaw ka, una ka. Letter C, the sufficiency test is not the only test you have to use in determining undue delegation since you have to check if the law was complete in itself. So, asa man dira between C o B ang tama. Kaya nakasulti naman tadaan nga pag musulti ka og undue delegation, whether there was undue delegation or not, to ka test. So, ang answer na is diri takang number 12 to 14. The powers given to the three branches of government spill over because of the three shortfalls. Choose which are the three shortfalls daw. So, you have A, then B, then C, then D. So, kani siya, pag tanaw ni mo niya shortfalls, no? Rason, no? Nga nung kailangan man ng government spillover, nga nung kailangan man natog admin agency. So, tanaw na to, growing complexity of modern life. Society gets more complex, more things to regulate, multiplication of personalities. Nga nung niabot man is yung multiplication of personalities in town, oy? Tapos, ka ng letter B. Ito na nanta kay letter B. Multiplication subject, growing complexity, difficulty regulating personnel. Napod si personnel. Letter C, growing multiplicity, more things to be regulated, duplicitous tasks that require government, difficulty in administering the law. Murag ka, uy, murag tsada lagi to. And then you go to letter D. So, sa'yo gisulti ni letter D, class. Ang gisulti ni letter D kay growing complexity of modern life, multiplication of subject of governmental regulation, increased difficulty of administering law. Tulo lang, ha? Tulo ka shortfalls. So, asa man C or D. So, the answer would be number 15. True or false? The chief of staff. Note, chief of staff exercises control over all agencies of the government performing rule-making power. True or false? So, masulti kang chief of staff. Ma'am, gano'n na chief of staff man na? Diba dapat chief executive? So, sa ngalan nga, sayop na gani siya. So, musulti na ka din false na siya. So, you choose between B ug C na lang dayon. Dili na nimo apilon si A, dili na nimo apilon si D. So, B or C. So, you go to B. No, the chief of staff is not the one who exercises control over all agencies but the heads of the rule-making agencies. So, makaanak ka, murag tama man siya, ma'am. Kay secretaries man na siya, ma'am, no? Then you go to letter C, the chief of staff does not exercise control over all agencies and offices that perform rulemaking powers. Period. Answer. 16 to 18. The administrative agencies come into being by natay mga how administrative agencies come into being. So, asa man dire, we have statute, consti, executive agencies, law, contracts, consti, law, consti, statute, kuha ni siya, D, statute, consti, executive order. So, asa man dira, A, B, C, or D. Na to, nakasulat na to. Diba? So, kailangan na law from the legislative body. Of course, nakasulat na nasa consti. And then we have the act of the executive. Diba? So, mga to siya answer. Then, 19. Which of the following is not correct? Pwede ko na not correct, na except. So, tanaw na nimo, which of the following not correct? So, ang tanan, tama, except sa isa. Okay? So, if the agency is created by Congress, consider the law creating it daw. Letter B, if the agency is created by Congress, check the consti if it is consti. Tangtangon ni mo ni, okay? If the law creating the agency is silent as to control the president can exercise, that the president can exercise, check if the same is violative. Ano mo ito naman po kag violative, tanggal po ni. If the law creating the agency is silent as regards presidential control over it, the president can only supervise. So, not correct man ma'am niya, duha ka buhok. E di asa, imong answer ron. Na may laing choice dira nga nagsulti nga. Katong duha ka choices nimo kay wrong. So, imo tong pilion. Diba? Diba? So, asa man dira. Which is incorrect. Number 20. Which of the following sentences is correct? Admin law is distinguished from public admin law, in that it covers the practical management and direction of various organs of the state and the execution of the state policies by the executive and administrative officers entrusted with such function. Ang taas kayo, ma'am, oy. But you look at the correct sentence relative to admin law. So, tanaw na mo, para mapaspas-paspas ka, admin law distinguished from criminal law covers punishments, okay? Applied to all branches. Murag kani siya ma'am, ma'am, kay nakasuwat man eh. Ha? So, pag makakuan ka, murag kani, go back to letter A, covers practical management directions, policies executive. So, murag big yun ang answer ni ma'am. So, asa man mo answer? Asa mo answer? So, kato siya, mo answer nga gisulti, mo to. Number 21. Excuse me. So, now we are number 21 now. Which of the following sentences is correct? Asa na po si correct? Multiplication of government functions prompted our authorities to craft laws to increase the number of admin bodies daw ko, no. Letter B, multiplication of population in the state requires the duplicitous admin agencies in government agencies ko, no. Letter C, multiplication of government functions prompted our authorities to increase the number of workforce. So, tibataan ni. So, tanggal ni. So, tanggalo ni ha. And then, multiplication of government functions was due to the populism. Napod ni siya, tanggal si C, tanggal si D, so nabilin ka kang A o B. So, kung asa man dire sa kang A o B, dito ka sa katong imong nasabtan. Craft laws. 22 to 24. The three branches of government lack the following, thus the increase of admin agencies. So, asa man dire ang kulang, nagyapon ni sa module, kung nagbasa sa module ha. Katong mga nag-discuss, very good. Katong wala nag-discuss, okay lang, basta nagbasa gyapon mo. So, what are those factors wherein the government lack such factors, thus the increase of admin agencies. So, nagitong time, natong expertise, natong organizational aptitude. So, mao to siya answer class. Okay? Number 22 na ta. So, proceed to number 22. Pasensya sa kong tingog class ka na ko rin 90s. 25. Which of the following is the reason for the doctrine of separation of powers? Sa Alubijid nga, public ad, they discussed this. No? Na nasa module. 26. Abolition of admin agencies is an exercise of control by Congress. Is it effective or not? No? Abolition. So, tita nga, dili siya maayo i-abolish because we need the admin agencies, they're necessary. So, asa man dire, nagsulti nga, necessary good ang admin agencies. So, sulti ka dire, not effective yun dapat. So, ana, katong mga nagsulti nga effective, tanggal, ha? So, dire ka. Number 27. Investigatory exercise of control over admin agency is ineffective or effective? Kali sa kuan gyapon ni siya sa ato ang legislature class ha. Na sila investigative power man. So imong gisulti dito kay only no nato siya condition. It is effective only ha to investigate. So in aid of legislation to siya. So asa man tong nakasulat nga in aid of legislation din kana 28 to 30. Taluha is a public official assigned in Surigao del Norte. Complaint was filed against her by an anonymous. Complainant alleged that Taluha is receiving bribes from local businessmen to expedite so kanisya na daw kunoy gifile nga complaint si Taluha against Taluha sa isa ka anonymous nga taxpayer. We wouldn't know kisa na siya. So, ang kaning complainant gi-attach niya ang katong certified true copies sa mining permits without the mandatory requirements. So, meaning to say, katong mining permits nga na-secure ni Talo, nga secure daw atong mga mining companies, wala sila niagi sa tama nga proseso because of taluha. Taluha nga nag-accept daw kuno og mga bribes from local businessmen. So, would the attachments be admissible as evidence against taluha? Why or why not? So, natay choices diri. So, naala sa imo, if you are the one who will decide on this particular case, for example, unsa imong decision. So, admin law man gud ta class, ang ato ang gamiton nga ebidensya sa admin law kay substantial evidence, dili proof beyond reasonable doubt, dili kanang preponderance of evidence ha. So substantial evidence kana nga ebidensya nga kanang ordinaryo tao ka madawat nimong ebidensya nga mao gyud makasulti ka nga gyud nahitabo gyud nga bribery. Kay substantial on the face of the document pagtanan nimo dito madawat na nako ni ana based ana nga mga ebidensya gipresentar. So, ang kuanan is yes, di ba? So, na yes, tanawan mo din si B o si D. So, tanawan mo yung rason. So, si B, ingon niya, evidence can be admissible as evidence is the same show in clear detail the violations. So, pag sulti kag show in clear detail, murag wa man ko kay balaod ani class nga gibutang. So, you go to letter D. Admissible as evidence, plain not was filed by no moment, tribunal or body hearing the admin case should consider such evidence as substantial evidence. So, kaya paano naman ni siya sa balaod nga gisulti ang imuhang ang proof required sa admin proceedings kay substantial evidence. So, ano ang answer? Number 31 to 33, on June 30, 2016, si President Duterte issued Executive Order Number 1. In that order, the President reorganizes the admin structure of the Office of the President. Office of the President siya mag-control, no? Such executive issuance consolidated. So, i-consolidate niya office and functions of the OSAP, kaning sa SAP, kanang kang Senator Baungon office before. Then, Office of the Appointment Secretary, Presidential Management, PMS, under the Special Assistant. So, nakabutan na sila sa SAP. Tapos, nag-create po siya og Events Management Cluster, nga Office of the President Events Management Cluster. So, in this case, ang gibutang din hikunuhay, si Mina, siya daw, director daw siya sa PMS. Tapos, gibalhin siya sa EMS, Events Management Staff, tapos na-demote siya to Chief. So, nag-complain siya, ingon niya, ang President cannot do such reorg because that function of reorganizing the PMS, i-merge siya with another office, that function is with the Congress, the legislature, and there must be a law that should be passed for the organization. So, unsa man na siya itong gisulti? Atong gitanong din ni Office of the President. So, kung Office of the President, that's under the President. Siyempre, Office of the President nga. So, ang Presidente, nag-execute man siya, nag-issue man siya executive order, sumao na yung balaod nga gibasihan. So, atong tanong din if the President has that control, kay control naman, hindi naman his supervision, kaya man gi-reorg. So, unsa may dapat nga answer? So, ang dapat nga answer ni, since under man siya sa Office of the President, okay, gihatagan siya anak nga katungod, authority sa balaod, sa admin code. So, ang tamang answer ni is si Mina wrong. So, Office of the President is under, Office of the Presidential Management Staff is under the Office of the President man. So, ang President, nagit siya right, okay? Na siya right to reorg. Okay? Na siya right to reorg. And this was actually granted to the President under the Admin Code of 1987. If you look at the Executive Order Number 1, basahon na nimo, it specifically provides in that particular sa whereas so the President was given this authority under the Admin Code of 1987 to have this continuing authority to reorg the admin structure of the Office of the President. So, mana siya answer. 34 to 36, Justin filed a criminal case. Oy, nag-criminal case lagi ta mamingong ka-admin. Yes, admin law ta, pero public officials magod atong ginaistoryahan ani, so there would be instances nga makakommit sila criminal cases, no, mga commission of crimes. But sa ato manggod basta administrative law sa mga sa atong public officials, if they commit criminal case, na ginay admin case. So criminal case, tulo ka book na siya, criminal case, civil case, admin case. Kung ang nakaksala naka-commit og criminal nga kuan, no, sanctions or naka-commit og crime kay ang public official or employee, criminal case plus civil case plus admin case. So Justin filed a criminal case against Director Madugas. So Director Madugas daw was the director of the DILG. Now that case that he filed against Director Madugas was still pending before the sala of Judge Di Matulin since 2017. So imagine, 2017, 2021 na karon dugay kayo pero wala gyapon ni usad ang kaso. Therefore, on January 20, 2021, Justin filed before the Deputy Ombudsman kasi Ombudsman siya magudang kanang mga file ka og mga cases against erring public officials, no? So, the complainant Justin filed before the Deputy Ombudsman an admin complaint against Judge Di Matulin. Kaya ingon niya, being a public official doon si Judge Di Matulin, naman siya gimong unnecessary delay in the hearing of the case that he filed against Director Madugas. Now, the question is, will this case prosper? So, sa sugod, pumunta na ako, ay mag-prosper yun siya, ma'am, kay public official man si Judge. No, hindi siya mag-prosper class because gani si Judge Di Matulin, under na siya sa supervision and control of the Supreme Court. So, mao na siya dapat ang answer. So, ang answer ni mo na is no, di ba? So, pangitaan ni mo si no. This case will not prosper as jurisdiction as judge, public not. So, kani siya masulti kag, hala, bitaw ma'am, no? Kurag. Pero dili man ni siya mao, ha? Dili siya mao kay walay balaod ani. Walay balaod ani. So, what kung nag-file ang mga case that gets dito? Ana, hectic schedule. So, what? Pangitaan ni mo ang katong answer nga nay balaod. So, no. This case will definitely not prosper. The Ombudsman has no jurisdiction to initiate investigation in the alleged delay in the disposition of the judicial case. It is Supreme Court, which has administrative supervision over all courts and the personnel thereof. If the public official, if the person involved, if the party involved to a case is judicial, no? Judicial, like judge, no? Kung judge gani na siya, bahala pag sa ubos na siya nga rango or sa municipal trial court or kaniyang sa kuan na siya MTC or kana siya sa maubos sa first level course nato, then RTC asa pa na siya basta korte ang naaragyoy administrative supervision ana nila pati ilang personnel, ilang mga tao, Supreme Court, ha? Bahala pag musulti ka public official man na sila, ma'am. Yes, public officials sila og employees, but still since they are personnel of the courts, ha? And also, they are courts, no? Court personnel, court judges, and they are under the administrative supervision of the Supreme Court. Therefore, any complaints against these officials or personnel of the courts, the same must be filed before the Supreme Court and not with any other tribunal. 37 to 40, the following are matters that Congress cannot delegate. So, kung sa man tong, dili pwede ma-delegate sa Congress because the Congress can delegate such, for example, such functions to the admin agencies, no? Naman na siya sa balaod. So, what are those matters not delegatable? Kumbaga, they cannot be delegated. So, nana siya sa module. The answer to that would then be, asa man to siya, class, ang answer. Pangitaan ninyo ang answer. Nay mo sulod. Nay wala kasulod, class. Sorry kay class ha kung di mo kasulod sa inyong internet connection, but be sure na maka-answer mo sa inyong Google form. Okay? Again, 37 to 40, number 41 to 43. In the case of Santiago versus Comelec, what was the decision of the court as regards Comelec Resolution number 2300 insofar as it prescribes rules and regulations on the conduct of initiative on amendments to the Consti? So, kani siya nga case, kung gibasa ninyo ang atong module, o gibasa ninyo ang balaod, o kani ang ilang ginatawag nga kaso ni Santiago versus Comelec, si Madam Miriam, kani siya nga kaso, nagsulti sila, about na sa RA 6375, no? Kadi siya is an act providing for a system of initiative, daw ko, no? Okay? So, kani siya nga, kaso, ang gisulti sa Supreme Court kay dili daw tama ang gimo sa Comelec na pag-issue og Comelec resolution. So ingon niya na ang Comelec daw dili daw sila pwede maka-promulgate og mga rules daw regulations para implementar ang right of the people to initiative, etc. because it is already provided for by the under the Constitution. So nana siya undue delegation kumbaga or pataka lang ang Comelec, nag-encroach siya sa ihang kuano ni go beyond the scope na ang Comelec. So, ang answer ani, okay, so number 44, hapit na ta class. The following have been held to have passed the sufficiency standard test. Except, asa man dire katong wala nakapasar. Naay isa din ha nga wala nakapasar. So, you go back to your module. Open notes man ni class, no? So, you go back to your module. Makita ninyo dito nga ang kanang gitawag nga wala nakapasar, nga nagpasumangil nga nakapasar. Yan sa class mo, pasulod sa ko class. Pasulod sa ko. So, ang nakapasar din ha, kanang si Paco, ha? Si Paco. So, asa man dira? Si Paco. Ano answer? The following consists of the 7 cardinal primary rights related to admin proceedings, except asa man diri ang wala labot sa 7 cardinal primary rights. So, rights to have evidence considered, evidence should be supported by evidence, right against self-incrimination, Pag masulti kag right against self-incrimination, unsa man na? Naman na siya sa criminal law, wala man na siya sa admin law. Okay? So, number 46. The right to a party to confront and cross-examine an opposing witness is a fundamental right daw, which is part of the process. Celine was not able to cross-examine. Wala niya na cross-examine ang opposing witness. Kaya wala dahi hearing sa administrative case against her. Pero, she received the complaint with affidavits of the witnesses. Now, question, was there a violation of Celine's right to due process? Nakahawid na siya og complaint with affidavits of the witnesses. So, na-violate ba yung right to cross-examine the opposing witness? Okay, under the law, she has the right to cross-examine daw po, no? And that's part of due process. So, kung yung answer is yes, nabuang na ka. So, dere ka. Okay? Na-get nyo, class? Na-gets nyo? Wala. Kung wala nyo na-gets, there must be something wrong with your connection. But, it's okay. Makita magyapon ninyo ni later. So, we go to essay. Ang sa essay, class, kani siya makita ni sa inyuhang module. Okay, nakita na ko dito, nag-discuss mo. So, I think it's one page. Katong first page. Di na ako isa ba, no? Nasa sa first page sa inyong module, except for the katong blah, 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 preface na ko, ha? Preface. Dili dito. So, number 2, Celine Sebastian is facing criminal charges and fled the country. Solis, a private prosecutor. So, nani siya gyapon ako ni sa module. Okay? Nga, should she be accorded notice? The answer there is no more. Nga naman, man siya nakakasala man siya, di ba? So naman na siya dito, giunsa na nimo. Dili na niya kailangan ning notice and hearing prior to cancellation of her passport. Kay man siya, kana nakasala siya, so kailangan pwede na siya ma-deport. Okay? So just state that in good, very nice sentence format. And then no misspellings, no grammar errors. That would be the end of the last minute tips. Kung nakapaminaw yun mo, it's 6:43. You have pila pa ka minutes to review. Okay? Paspasan ninyo, kung nag-notes mo maayo, kung wala mo nag-notes na, inyo na yung balik-balikan pagtanaw. Okay? So, do you have any questions? Class, before we formally end, okay, para makakaon pa mo so that you can still eat and then you can review dayon. Kaya ako na nila yun siyang ipalungon ang live stream. Do you have other questions? Violent reactions? Class? None? Okay, was it clear? Was it clear? Was it clear? Loud and clear. So, okay, class? Okay, thank you very much for your time. I hope that you will all get perfect scores. Give me perfect scores. Perfect scores would mean exempted from the finals. If you don't get perfect scores, I will still check kung kinsa sa inyo itong nag-submit og inyong recommendation or suggestions via Google Classroom sa ato ang topics. So, kato siya, 2 points naman to siya, ihad sa midterms ninyo. Even if you did not get, for example, you get only 98, but you have 2 points for the suggestion, 100, except yapon ka sa finals. Okay? Okay, docs? Okay, docs, class? Yes, loud and clear. Very good. So, again, good luck. God bless you all. This would formally end our last minute tips. Okay, so see you later. I will give you after mga 11 p.m. ang results sa inyong exam. Okay? Good luck. God bless. Okay? God bless you all. Si Mr. Pileno? Oh, kaluoy sab ni Mr. Pileno. Pero at least negative ka, no? Negative. Oh, negative. Oh, negative. Oh, at least negative. So, okay lang. God bless you, Mr. Pileno and the rest. God bless you all. Good luck. Adios. Hasta luego. Assalamualaikum. Salam class. Thank you. Bye. Bye. That formally ends our midterm examinations. Last minute tips for admin law. Thank you.